Welcome back to Margaritas in Paradise. Today I'm very fortunate to have a friend of mine. He's down from Concan, Larry from the U.S.,
Yep.
Michigan. And why don't we start out with you telling us a little bit of background information, a little bit about yourself.
Name's Larry Westphal from Detroit, Michigan originally. Been living here in Thailand for about 14 years, retired here. And probably the main reason I wanted to retire here was back in 1973 when I first joined the Army. My first duty station was in Bangkok, Thailand at 21 years old.
Yeah.
Kind of fell in love with the country and the food and the people and the culture, and told myself then, when I retire, I'm coming back here. So I was fortunate. I came back a few times on vacation. I came back a few times for Cobra Gold exercises, the military Thai exercises. And then when I got tired of working and I was eligible over here, I was 57. I came over and retired, met a lovely lady up in Khon Kaen, got married for the second time. And we have a lovely 10-year-old daughter, Layla, and life's good. I'm here in Pattaya for a couple weeks vacation. I was here for New Year's, and to see you and to see a couple other friends. One buddy came in from Qatar that I was in the military with.
Right.
Another buddy retired about 5 months ago in Jomtien. Came to see him. Like another buddy from Jomtien. So seeing a bunch of folks while I'm here and just having a good time.
Yeah. Where were you at before you moved to Thailand?
Hawaii.
You were in Hawaii.
For about 25 years. I was stationed there. Then I got off active duty, joined the reserves, then became a contractor. Was a government contractor for the U.S. and then for United States Army Pacific, and then got a civil service position, a GS-12 position.
Yeah.
And after working since I was 12 until 57, I got tired of it and said I quit and came over here. Sold my townhouse in Hawaii. I had money saved up in my thrift savings plan, which is like the 401k for the civilians. And I said, I got enough money that'll get me to 60. Then I get my military retirement from the reserves, and then 62 Social Security. So once we got all that going, after 62, life was very easy. Cause
did you just immediately move to Khon Kaen, or?
Yep.
Or okay.
I met my wife online at one of the Thai dating apps or whatever they are, and then talked to her and photos and phone calls, and then finally met her and came over again and met the family, and we got married. But it wasn't an immediate thing.
Right.
My wife lives in Khon Kaen. She was a civil engineer. She was teaching at a technical college.
Okay.
And we met up and we got together and we're married 15 years now. So life's good. But because she lives in Khon Kaen and she knows everywhere around there and her whole family's up there, we live in Khon Kaen. And it's not a bad place to live. It's a 45-minute flight from Bangkok.
Right.
So it's easy to get to. International airport now.
Sure.
So for me to get I can leave Khon Kaen at 8 o'clock and be here for lunch here in Pattaya. Easy. Yeah. It's a flight and a taxi ride.
All right. Yeah. Fantastic.
They did have.
Do you miss Michigan?
I got to watch Michigan play football yesterday. It was great. Michigan beat Alabama in overtime.
A Lion fan. All right.
See my shirt here?
Have a good team this year.
My sister still lives in Michigan with her family, but we're not that close. My parents passed away about 5 years ago after long lives. Dad was 92, mom 89. So no real connection. I have a son from my first marriage. He lives in Las Vegas, getting ready to move back to the big island of Hawaii. So no real connection, no real reason. I really don't like what America has turned into. So I have no desire to go back.
Okay.
Even when I go to immigration, I had to go a couple of years back to get a new passport. I got a new passport, so they had to transfer the visa from the old passport to the new. And the immigration officer looked and says, "You haven't left the country." I said, "Why would I want to?" He said, "You don't go anywhere?" I said, "No, I travel all around Thailand. I've been to about 30 or 40 different provinces, 20, 30 different beaches. I go all over the place. But why go anywhere else? There's a whole lot to see here."
The requirements are different between an OA visa versus an O visa. Why have you just stayed with an OA visa?
I thought about changing it to an O visa when they changed the requirement to have medical insurance. It's about 5 or 6 years ago. Thought about doing it, and oh, geez, now with COVID came in, couldn't do it. And the only real difference for me is I have to have medical insurance. And initially it was 300,000 baht coverage. Now it's 3 million baht coverage.
Right.
And my price, I mean, the price they charged me initially was about 48,000 baht a year.
Right.
Now it's 52. So it really hasn't gone up that much, even though my coverage is much higher. And I'm 71, so it's not a bad deal to have medical insurance just in case. Knock on wood, I haven't needed it, but so I got it.
Do you think that medical insurance is a necessity here in Thailand?
I believe so. The cost of medical is relatively inexpensive, but you never know what's going to happen. You can get into a motorcycle accident, get hit by a car, and you wind up, and you always see the stories in the Bangkok Post and the Pattaya News about somebody who did something stupid and banged their head, and they're in the hospital, and their bill is in the millions of baht, and they have no money, they have no way to get home, and the hospital doesn't want to release them because they want their money, which they're due. So yeah, get insurance, travel insurance. If you're here for a couple weeks, get insurance. I had a buddy from England that was here on vacation and got into a motorcycle accident, and he dislocated his shoulder. He was in pretty bad shape, but his medical insurance, fortunately, he had it, covered everything. So yeah, get medical insurance if you live in here or if you're just visiting.
Right. What do you think about the medical care here in Thailand?
Oh, top notch.
Yeah.
Top notch. Everybody is so nice and friendly. The doctors are well qualified. Many are trained in the U.S., the U.K., Australia. They all have their degrees.
Sure.
They speak English very well. Right. My only complaint would be is they tend to overprescribe medication to you. I mean, you could walk in as Superman. They'd probably find that you had a cold and here's a bag of pills for you. Right. They tend to, and to me, it's the Thai culture. The doctor has to do something or it doesn't look like he's doing his job. So he has to prescribe something. Right. So he'll give you, aspirin and cough medicine for your cold. Well, you can get that at 7-Eleven. But yeah, the medical treatment, I've had eye surgery here. I had it's called a pterygium. You ever heard of a pterygium? No. It's a growth on your eye, kind of like the surfer's eye, they call it, from being in the sun a lot. Right. You get like a callus on your hand, you get a callus on your eye and it grows. And if it gets over the iris, you're blind. So he had to laser it off. And I had one done in Hawaii years ago and one done here. And yeah, he lasered it, sat behind me. I'm like this. He's laser, and he has an intern, and he's talking to the intern at the same time. So that wasn't too friendly, but they did a great job. Our daughter is a miracle of modern science. She's from an in vitro fertilization. Wow. Because I had a vasectomy many years ago. Right. And so we did that, and that was medical treatment in Bangkok. That was top notch. Wow. So yeah, I have no complaints about I've had surgery on the mouth. I have dentures. I had to get 15 teeth pulled at one sitting. No. Yes, it was painful, but they did it, and I have my implants, titanium implants, and way cheaper than a full set of dentures would cost in America. I'll tell you that. Yeah, quality service, and you go in, they consult. You go in the next time, and they're like, "Okay, I'm going to do this many teeth, and if you can keep on going, give me a thumbs up. If not, we'll stop, and you can come back in a couple of days." And then you go back and you get your sutures, and you go back to get the sutures removed, and you go back for check. The care is very good. Yeah. And you can. You say, well, I haven't got enough to pay. You can pay by installments, kind of a thing. And yeah, whatever. The service is good. The quality is good. I can eat now. I can smile. Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. All right. How about the local clinics and that type of thing around Khon Kaen? Do you always just go to the hospital, or do you use clinics, anything like that?
No, we go to the hospital. I've gone to Bangkok Pattaya Hospital, or Bangkok Khon Kaen Hospital. Right. And that's where I got my COVID shots, and I got my boosters, and another one, Khon Kaen Ram Hospital, where my daughter was born. Yeah, so usually, if the wife has to take my daughter to see a doctor, you go to the hospital.
Right. What insurance company do you use?
It's called Falcon, Falcon. Okay. When they first came out with this law that we had to have the medical insurance on the non-immigrant O-A visa, I didn't realize that it applied to me, because the way it was worded, it was for new visas, and my visa was not new; it was just an extension. I went to get my extension, and immigration said that I needed insurance, and I said, "Well, I have military TRICARE because I was in the service," and they said, "No, you got to have Thai insurance." They gave me a list of companies that I could use, and even on that piece of paper, it said for a new visa, but he said, "No, that's for everybody." So I emailed all the companies, and the one that I got back that would take care of me at a good price and no medical examination was Falcon. And I've been with them ever since. They've been fine. And I just had my wife sent the money yesterday because I got to do my visa this month. It was 52,233 baht for 1 year. It's about 1,200. About $125 a month. So not too bad. 3 million baht coverage. I know if I use TRICARE, and I've used that for a couple things, I have to pay first, then I get a partial reimbursement.
TRICARE Overseas Select.
Something like that, yeah.
The same thing I have.
Okay. Yeah, there's a small deductible, and then you get like 50% of whatever you paid. But I haven't had to use that much either, so thank goodness.
Have you hit any hurdles by living here that you've had to overcome?
Initially, when I applied for Social Security, they had my birth year wrong. They had me being born in 1956 instead of 1952. So they said I wasn't eligible, and I had to prove, I had to get a copy of my birth certificate and send it to the nearest Social Security office, which for us is in the Philippines, which is a pain in the butt to deal with. And they don't like to talk to you on the phone. They usually won't answer the phone. You just leave a message and they'll call you back in a day or three. That was probably the biggest hurdle, was getting my Social Security money. But once we got that sorted out and I got like 3 months back pay that they owed me, then it was all right. And then they also, Social Security sends out letters periodically to make sure you're still alive. And they can get lost in the mail easily. So then you don't get paid until they're like, "Hey, where's my money?" They said, "Oh, we sent you that letter. You didn't send it back." I never got it.
Dog or cat?
Dog. If a cat scratches me, I get allergic reaction. I had 2 dogs, a golden retriever and a black Labrador, both for about 12 or 13 years, and both have passed away. Two good dogs. Killed a lot of snakes.
Many of the questions are kind of specific to Pattaya or Bangkok area. But with you living in Khon Kaen, does somebody need to own a vehicle or a motorbike living in Khon Kaen?
Yeah, you need transportation. I mean, unless you're living right down in the heart where the Pullman Hotel is, and you can walk around to Central Plaza. We have a Central Plaza like you have Central Festival and Central Marina here. But where I'm at, I'm probably a 5-minute drive to the airport. I'm not out in the village on water buffaloes or any of that kind of stuff. We're like in the suburbs of the city. We're in the outskirts. 5 minutes to the airport, 5 more minutes to downtown Khon Kaen. So yeah, you need. We own a car and a truck and and my wife has a motorcycle. You know, I like to walk, and it's easy to get around. Even if I didn't walk, there's the Bot bus or the Bolt taxi. You know, it's too easy to get around here.
So where you're at, do you have Bolt taxi?
No,
or
we have Grab.
you have Grab?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's a shame because Bolt's much better and better prices and easier app to use. That's better.
Right. If you check the description below, there'll be links in there. There'll be a link to where Khon Kaen is located at, and like the Bolt app and Grab app and those type things as well. So Ford or Chevy?
I'm a Chevy guy. I had a Chevy S10 before I came here. That's the last vehicle I sold when I moved here. Back where I live, I grew up in Detroit. Ford stood for Found on the Road Dead, or Fix or Repair Daily.
I wanted to touch back again about your visa.
Okay.
Okay. Seems to me like you do all your own visa work, right? You don't use an agent?
I do the 90 days online, which now works very well, which for a while was kind of iffy, but now that 90 days is great. We just go online and do it. The last one I did, I submitted it at 11 o'clock in the morning, and I got the reply back at 16:30, 4:30 in the afternoon, same day. So, and the visa, yeah, you go once a year, you bring your papers, you pay your 1,900 baht, takes about 10 minutes, and you're done. The people at immigration up in Khon Kaen, I don't know what you guys hear, but up in Khon Kaen, they're polite, friendly, efficient, professional, speak English quite well. And what you got to remember is they are the police, so it's yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am,
Sure.
But yeah,
you have the long lines?
No, not really. And normally, if when we used to go there for the 90 days, they would call out 90 days, come on, and they do them real quick. So you just, and sometimes they would have one desk that just did 90 days until there were no more 90 days to do, and then they would take and do the 1 year ones. But yeah, it's relatively quick where I'm at. Yeah. I'm sure Jomtien is much more crowded, and Bangkok is more crowded, but it's not bad in Khon Kaen. It's easy.
Yeah.
And American Citizen Services has started coming back to Khon Kaen. They were doing that and then stopped for a while, I guess COVID or whatever. But they come up and for notary stuff, and if you need to get your, we used to do the affidavit of income, but they stopped doing that.
Right.
But if you need notary or whatever, the American Citizen Services from the American Embassy shows up like twice a year.
Of course, I get a lot of questions asked all the time about transferring money. They want to know, how do we transfer money from the United States to Thailand? And do you have any advice about that?
Well, there's a few different ways you can do it. What I do is my bank has international wire transfers for about $35. So once a month, I send my pension money over here for $35. And it's in the bank the next day or the same day. I've also used, way back when, I used to use PayPal. And I would take money from my bank to my American PayPal account, transfer it to my Thai PayPal account to my Thai bank. Then PayPal stopped doing that. I don't know why. And I've also used what used to be called TransferWise. It's now called Wise, W-I-S-E. I've used them before.
And of course, there'll be a link in the description for Wise. Now, I'm going to throw a note in there on that. If you use this link, you'll get a free transfer, basically.
Oh, there you go.
I think up to like 500 euro or something.
Okay,
like that.
That's good.
So it'll save you a little bit of money anyway. Coming out of Hawaii to here, how is the climate different?
It's hotter and it's more humid here. Hawaii's an island, so you get the breezes most of the time.
Right.
And its temperature doesn't vary much in Hawaii. It's like in that 75 to 85 Fahrenheit degrees, 26 to 30 something roughly. It doesn't get real hot in Hawaii, it doesn't get real cold. It gets down to maybe 55, 60 Fahrenheit. Here, it's hotter, but this time of year is great. It's nice and cool in the morning, and it's much better than being in Michigan because there's no snow here. I don't like snow.
How about pictures of snow?
Pictures?
Yeah, or video.
Those are fine.
Yeah, that's the way I look at it too.
Yeah.
I love to see snow, only in pictures.
I like to watch a football game when it's in the snow. Those are fun to watch. Yeah.
Do you have a friend in the U.S. or anywhere from the world, and they were considering moving here to Thailand?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any recommendations or preparation that you would recommend to them to come here?
Well, first thing I would suggest is, come here for a couple weeks, cover a month, whatever your vacation allows.
Right.
And don't just go to Bangkok, Pattaya, Phuket, Chiang Mai. Those are like probably the 4 most popular places here.
Sure.
Go around and see some other places, and because not everywhere is like Pattaya, not everywhere is like Bangkok, and not everywhere is like Khon Kaen. Depends on what you want, what you like, and what your budget is, how much you can afford to spend on a daily, monthly basis, So, and even if you come here and you're like, I want to live here in Pattaya, I still recommend you'd only get like a 1-year lease or a 1-year rental, however that would work. Right. Don't go full blown and buy something. Maybe, rent first, and if you really like it, give it a try. And you might find that, gee, I can live maybe 15 miles away and it's a lot cheaper and quieter, but I can still get here real easy on my car or motorcycle. So, yeah, try it out first. Just like anything, try it before you buy it.
Sure. Great advice.
Yeah.
It really is.
You also got to remember that you cannot own land here.
Right.
You know, you can own a condo like here at Tom's. We have a house, we have land, but it's all in my wife's name. So you got to trust your partner. And so we have a house on one rye of land. One rye is 1,600 square meters. It's a good sized parcel of land. And we've got a good sized house, 3 or 4 bedrooms. We also have a few other parcels of land, just land that we've bought to invest in, to save, to hold and sell at a future date and make some money, and better than what the bank pays. Right. But trust your partner. I've heard too many stories about she took the car, she took the house, she took everything, took the bar, because it's all in her name.
So I have a video on that.
So be careful. Yeah. But my wife, she's a sweetheart. I get along with her. I get along with her parents, my in-laws, her cousins, her aunts, uncles. Yeah, she got a good family. It's not like those stories you've heard about people where they're always begging for money and that kind of stuff. Not my family's, my wife's family. Everybody works. They got jobs. They have lives.
Right.
And when they come over to visit or for New Year's or whatever, they're bringing baskets of food or bringing fresh vegetables and fruits and stuff, just like we do when we go to their house,
Sure. Yeah, so, very, very good.
Yeah, it's good.
So there's only like 1 to 5% of the good girls out there. I think you got lucky.
Yeah, I met mine on a dating app and met her. And again, like you say, try before you buy. You came over here a few times and met her, and talked with her and sent photos back and forth. Met her family, and went through. I mean, had to go meet the. I call him the patriarch of the family. He's the uncle who kind of is the one in charge of everybody.
Right.
Had to go meet him and get his approval and blessing. And so it wasn't like all that crap you read online. This was like asking your parents' permission to marry somebody. And that's what we did.
Beer or wine?
Beer. Right. I don't do wine. Don't do alcohol. Hard alcohol, whiskey, and that kind of stuff.
Right.
I drink my Leo beers.
Yeah. All right. How about cost of living or budgeting? Do you need to live on a budget here? And do you have any suggestions on how much it costs to live in Thailand?
It depends on your lifestyle. I mean, you can get by on the $1,200 a month Social Security, but you're not going to be able to do a whole lot. You're not going to be able to go out drinking every night and enjoying the rest of the entertainment over here. So just depends on you and your lifestyle. And again, if you live further up north or further out from Pattaya,
right,
your cost of living is going to be less. It depends on what kind of food you like to eat. Do you like to eat the Thai soup for 30 baht, or do you have to go and have a steak for dinner that costs you 300 or 400 or 500 baht? If you want those comfort foods from back home, your mac and cheese, your peanut butter and jelly, or whatever you like from back home, you're going to pay because of the import. Costs a little bit more over here. But if you like fruits and vegetables, they're dirt cheap. I mean, you can get kilos of fruits and vegetables over here for pennies.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. So, do you eat Thai?
I eat some, but I don't like spicy. But I like the pad Thai and pad siu, good noodle dishes, cow pat, the real basic stuff. Nothing really fancy. But the som tam and the real spicy things, I can't come near.
Do you guys go out to eat often, or do you
Not
cook
often.
at home? Or
cook at home? You go out and be once or twice a month. That's one of the things I like about coming here to Pattaya. There's so many good restaurants that have, and I like Western food, and yeah, I can get Western food in Khon Kaen, but not like I can get here. Not the variety and the quality and the price that they have it for here. I mean, so many good restaurants. I mean, where you can get a full English breakfast for about $3, 110 baht or 120 baht, or an American breakfast for the same price.
Right. Does the area offer adequate means of making friends? Or meeting people?
Yeah, but there's not as many foreigners in Khon Kaen as there are in Bangkok or Pattaya or Phuket or Chiang Mai.
Right.
And there's still some, guys that teach English up there. There are those who work up there. There are tourists up there and guys like me who live there.
Sure.
So yeah, there's people up there. And plus everybody's got the Line app so you can talk to each other face to face. We all got Messenger and we all got Facebook and all that kind of stuff. So we can socialize that way, call each other for free, which is great.
How about clubs or anything like that, or sporting activities there?
There's an area near downtown, the Pullman Hotel. It's a 4.5, 5-star hotel. A couple other nice hotels, and there's a few bars and restaurants right there.
Right.
There's also some clubs that are mainly where the Thais would go, the different music and places I wouldn't go to, but just because it's a whole different style,
Well, that's a valid point.
There are golf courses, but I don't play golf.
Right,
so,
right.
And the lawn bowling, I saw that in your video just this morning. I watched it. But I don't think up there any that I know
So
of.
it's going to be limited.
Yeah, it's going to be limited.
Compared to, let's say, Pattaya, for instance,
Correct.
or Bangkok.
Well, geez, you got 27 golf courses here or something in Pattaya? We probably have 3 or 4,
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, there's
Vegemite or butter?
never had Vegemite, so it got to be butter.
Gotta be butter. If people are out driving around Thailand, do you think it's easy to find accommodations when you get away from the main tourist areas and that?
Oh, very easy.
All right.
Very easy. And relatively inexpensive. You probably find places in the 300, 400, 500 baht a night kind of range.
Right.
Nothing fancy, but still nice accommodations, and they'll have Wi-Fi and they'll have a small refrigerator and air conditioning and hot water. So,
Do you have any hobbies?
yeah, that's one of the things I was going to bring up. If you didn't ask a question about, is something that when you're planning to come here, is try and have some sort of a hobby. Right. So you have something to do, especially if you're here in Pattaya where you're going out drinking beer every night. Have a hobby: photography, videography, whatever. For me, my hobby is metal detecting, trying to find treasure on the beach.
Right. That's how initially me and you got together.
Right. Yeah, you were watching my old videos,
Right,
and
right.
we met on Facebook, and here we are. However, since COVID, we didn't get many tourists here, and so without any tourists, there's nothing to find in the sand anymore because nobody's going to the beach. And now the tourism is picking back up. I'll probably get the detectors out and start detecting again. Do it mostly on beaches. I've done some detecting up in Khon Kaen at the university. They have like soccer pitch and baseball fields and just a lot of land at a college university. So we go detecting there because my buddy was a teacher there.
Yeah.
So everybody knew him, and they didn't object to us walking around with metal detectors at 5 o'clock in the morning so we had permission to do it.
Sure.
Which you gotta, you gotta get that, but not for the beaches. The beaches, yeah, go and find all that gold that I've been missing.
All right. So you need to find things to do.
Yeah, especially if you're up in, like, say, Khon Kaen. We don't have all those social clubs. We don't have lawn bowling. We don't have 27 golf courses. We do have things to do,
Right.
but not as much. So, I also design T-shirt, type things and sell on Amazon. You make a few bucks that way too. Find something. You can't just do Facebook or Instagram or any of those kind of things all the time.
Sure.
But have something.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. You have to keep your mind occupied.
And it's also good to do some exercise and try and eat healthy,
Right. What's one of the hardest things to deal with living in Thailand?
Probably the language or the culture, trying to understand and get a grasp for the way people think over here compared to the way you were raised and the way you think.
Right.
And knowing the language, it's not so bad here in Pattaya. That's one of the things I like in Pattaya. I can speak English everywhere.
Right.
Up in Khon Kaen, not so much. So you need to learn a bit of Thai, which is great. And then you'll find out too, different areas of the country have different dialects, along with the basic Thai language, the Bangkok Thai. There's also the Isan Thai up in northeast where I'm at. There's Northern Thai up around Chiang Mai, and there's Southern Thai, which they're all different.
Sure.
So that can be difficult, but I'm fortunate. I pick up languages easily, and I speak a little bit. Plus, I was here years ago, so I've a bit of vocabulary, and so I can speak enough to get in trouble. I know how to count. I can order food. I can get a taxi. I can do the basics, but I cannot sit down with a Thai and carry a conversation for time. So yeah, that's probably it. And the culture, understanding it's a Thai Buddhist country. The way the Thais think is a little different. Being face is more important than almost anything.
Sure.
Face is more important face is more important than facts. And making that impression, that good impression. And a perfect example that I always use, if I was to buy a truck in the States, and let's say it was $18,000, I talked them down to $16,000, that's what I would tell you. That I got a good deal, man. I got that truck for $16,000. They wanted $18,000. Sure. Over here, they would say, I got the truck for $20,000. They wanted, they would say it costs more. That way they look more important. Instead of us saying we cut the deal and got the cheaper price, that makes us look more frugal or whatever, So it's a different way of thinking. You gotta go with the flow.
Yeah. Your son ever come over here?
He's come over with me when he was living with me, but that was years ago, 30 something years ago, right? 20 years ago maybe. Came over here on vacation a couple times.
Right.
And he keeps saying he'll come over, but you know how kids are.
Different priorities in life.
Yeah.
For now. So.
He did send a package about a year ago to his half sister, our daughter. He put together a care package, a box of goodies from Hawaii, and sent it over. So that was nice.
Yeah. And what's your typical day look like?
My typical day is get up around 5:30. And I usually check online for email, and I check sales of my t-shirts, the designs on Amazon. And then I'll put on my shoes and walk for a half hour, get some exercise, make smoothies, vegetable fruit type smoothies. Right. I spend most of the day online watching the news, watching a football game or whatever, depending on what day of the week it is. If American football, we get the games in like 1 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, and 8 o'clock in the morning. So I watch the 8 o'clock in the morning games. But I'm pretty much a homebody.
If you had the power to change anything here in Thailand, what would you change?
Maybe the education system somewhat. That it's kind of a rote system, memorization, and it's not really for thinkers. They don't really encourage thinking outside the box. They just memorize kind of stuff. But
so it's your daughter. Now, does she go to a public school or?
She goes to a private school.
Private school. Okay.
She's doing very well, but every day she's bored. It's just boring to her. She can learn more on YouTube in 30 minutes than in school for 8 hours. Right. And she speaks English. She speaks Thai. She speaks the Isan dialect to grandma and grandpa because they're from up there. And she's learning Chinese at one of her classes in school. Wow. Along with piano and science and math and Thai culture. But she'll get on a game on her computer, and she's talking with other people and socializing with them. And she can do that. And she's a whiz on her phone. She's always teaching grandma and grandpa how to do something on their phone to fix whatever they screwed up, But she's bored. And like I said, she used to sit on my lap when she was a year old. We're watching ABCs in Thai and in English, and she just picked all that up. But I guess in school, it's just totally boring to her.
She needs to be challenged.
Yeah.
And
she does well. I mean, her scores are over here it's like a 50-point system when they get their term grades. You got a 49 out of 50 or a 40 out of. Right. So like, you know, and you can, if you get a 40, well, that's like a B. You know, and a 70 is about a C. So her scores in English are 50, and Chinese like 50, and then the Thai culture and the Thai is a little lower, and just like any other school, where the ones you really like, you get the good grades in, and the ones that you do just enough. But she's a smart kid, and what I hope is when she gets of college age that she'll be able to go somewhere outside of Thailand, you know, or somewhere outside of Khon Kaen, maybe to Bangkok or whatever. Because my wife went to a technical college in Bangkok and got her bachelor's degree, and got a job up in Khon Kaen at a technical college as a teacher.
Is your daughter a U.S. citizen too?
Yep. Yeah. She's Thai in U.S. When she was about a year and a half, we went to the embassy in Bangkok, and I did her paperwork for her certificate of birth abroad. Right. The embassy does that. And you show the birth certificate in Thai and English. Got her passport and applied for Social Security and took care of all that. And so she's a Thai citizen. She has a Thai passport and an American passport, and now a Thai ID card. And next time I get to Bangkok and go to JustMag, I'll get her a military ID card because she's now 10. And my wife has a military dependent ID. We did that at the same time.
Have you used that, what's it called,
JustMag?
JustMag. Have you used that much?
Oh, not much, but yeah, I've gone there. It's the Joint United States Military Advisory Group, Thailand. It's the military liaison now for any military exercise or whatever they go through, those guys. But they're there to help out if you have anything military related. And they used to have the post office, an APO there for us to use. And they got a snack bar there. And if you need ID card or get into the DEERS, the Defense Enrollment System, I did that for my wife and my daughter. Got them enrolled for medical reasons. But
what do you think is one of the best decisions you have ever made in life?
To retire here. When I was stationed here 50 years ago, I came home and I told my parents the same thing. I said, when I retire, I'm going back to Thailand. Right. I've always said it. And of course, when I was getting close to that time, I worked at Fort Shafter, Hawaii, United States Army Pacific, where a lot of folks have been over here to Thailand for Cobra Gold. And so when you tell them, they'd all just laugh. They're like, yeah, right, you're going to retire. And my last day was on a Wednesday. They had a little ceremony for me for retirement at Fort Shafter Palm Circle, the gazebo. Had a little ceremony on a Wednesday morning. Thursday at 8 o'clock, I was on a plane coming here. Oh. You know, and I have not looked back. I have not gone back to America. I have no desire to go back to America. I can't stand seeing the news, what's going on in America and around.
Meat or tofu?
Depending on what kind of meat. I'm more of a chicken and pork kind of person. Right. The white meat and the other white meat. But I do like tofu if it's prepared properly.
Wow. I found somebody that likes tofu.
Yeah. I do like, the occasional burger, and especially here in Pattaya, there's a place called Prime Burger. They've got a real good burger. And that's the first place I go to when I get here. Yeah. But I still have fruit and vegetable smoothies at home, and I have noodles, and I try to watch the starches and sugars, just trying to keep the weight down, try to keep healthy.
All right. We're back at it.
Take 3.
Take 3. All right. What countries have you visited?
When I was in the military, I was stationed in Thailand, Korea, Taiwan, and I've been to Japan, Guam, Okinawa, American Samoa, Western Samoa. And then near where I grew up in Detroit, so been to Canada. I was at Fort Huachuca, go to Mexico. So mostly in the Pacific, but a couple other countries.
Yeah. What makes you happy?
What makes me happy? I think just living makes me happy. My daughter mainly, my wife makes me happy. I got a good life. I'm here in Pattaya. I'm happy. Just hope that I can live long and prosper, as Mr. Spock would say, and
Right.
see my daughter graduate high school, maybe college. So
Yeah, very good.
I'm a quiet, kind of mellow, relaxed kind of person, you know.
What's next in your life?
Next is just doing more travel while I'm here. I usually get out 2 or 3 times a year for a couple weeks per trip. Not always Pattaya.
Sure.
Different islands, different beaches, different places around Isan up north. Love to travel. Spending time with my daughter. And, you know, who knows, maybe one day we'll go back to America because I love to show it to my daughter and my wife.
Right. Oh,
But, you know,
Good.
who knows?
Do you have anything to add to this interview?
No, I think we pretty much covered quite a bit. We didn't cover everything, but
Right.
I think we hit some different areas from someone outside of Pattaya that comes here to visit, not necessarily lives here. And, yeah, we covered a bunch of good stuff.
All right. Let's see here. Make sure that you give me a thumbs up, okay? And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button.
Ring the bell.
Ring the bell for notifications of future videos.
And tell your friends. Share a link to the video.
I appreciate that.
Because Tom does some good videos. When you watch his videos, he's just right there, honest, telling you what he sees, what he does, and where he goes, and just straight up.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I like him too.
Appreciate the kind words. I thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Maybe we'll do it again. Go metal detecting.
Wisdom. Everybody has a story, and if you know anybody out there that would be a good person to interview, or have a suggestion for an interview, or even if you would like to be interviewed, send me a message. If you don't want to go public, you can send it to my email at margaritasinparadise@gmail.com. Send it there. I'll reply to you. All right. Have a good day. And,
take care.
We'll see you next time. All right.